If you think Android doesn't have fun and addictive games, this video is for you. Maybe you've just been looking at the most downloaded ones and not digging deep into the Play Store, but don't worry, I did that work for you. All you need to do is sit back, drop a like, and enjoy the video. Let's get started. Watcher of Realms is a next-generation tower defense RPG with gacha elements, and it's honestly much better than it looks. Let's talk about it now. You place your heroes on platforms or directly on the ground to stop hordes of monsters from reaching your base. You also need to choose which direction each hero is facing, as this directly defines their attack area. Each hero has a deployment cost. You must manage your energy carefully, deciding whether to place a tank right away or save resources to deploy a powerful mage later. The game is visually impressive, using detailed 3D models and motion capture animations. There are more than 100 heroes divided into factions, and each one fills a specific role, such as tanks or fighters. Watcher of Realms isn't a revolutionary tower defense game, but it executes the basics extremely well, and that's exactly what makes it great. If you like true old school fighting games and don't enjoy just swiping your screen to trigger combos, then this game is for you. Let's talk about VITA Fighters. The game uses classic polygon style visuals, so the graphics look simple and a bit blocky, but still interesting. The best part is that it has full on screen buttons. Every character has special moves, and you actually need to learn the inputs to pull them off and not get destroyed by NPCs. That might sound basic, but most fighting games on Android aren't like this, and since it also supports gamepads, it gets even better. Honestly, it's a near perfect fighting game. This is probably the closest we'll get to something like Overwatch or even Valorant on mobile. Let's talk about T3 Arena. I don't know how it's doing where you live, but T3 has lost a lot of players, and I'm not really sure why, because I think it's actually really good. It's a standard 5 versus 5 shooter, but the big difference is the variety of characters, each with completely unique abilities. Unlike other games where abilities don't matter much, here they truly define the gameplay. Some ultimates can completely turn the match around, and that's what makes it so fun. Honestly, I'd even pay to see this game keep growing with more characters and an active community. Unstoppable. SKULLGIRLS is often described as a cult classic. It's a fast-paced 2D fighting game with an absolutely unique visual style, and that's exactly why we're talking about it now. Damn. First thing that grabs your attention is the art style. The game uses fully hand-drawn frame-by-frame animations, resulting in a level of fluidity that's rarely seen in modern games. It blends anime aesthetics with a distinctly hand-painted look. Unlike other fighting games where the team size is fixed, SKULLGIRLS lets you choose your approach. You can play as one powerful character or build a team of 3 more fragile fighters. It's an unusual mechanic, but one that works extremely well. Many people don't realize this, but SKULLGIRLS also features strong online support, allowing you to fight other players and even unlock new characters. The story follows several fighters competing for a powerful artifact, each driven by their own motives: revenge, duty, or ambition. If you enjoy games with a dense and artistic atmosphere, SILT is an excellent discovery, and let's talk about it now. The game is entirely black and white, featuring hand-drawn art that blends a dark, almost horror-like mood. It's often compared to classics like Limbo and Inside because of its somber style and silent storytelling. You explore a surreal oceanic abyss filled with forgotten ruins and ancient machines. Unlike other games where you simply swim, in SILT you play as a diver with a supernatural ability, the power to possess the minds of marine creatures. This is one of the core mechanics of the game, and the one you'll use the most to solve its puzzles. Each creature has a unique ability required to progress. For example, you can possess a razor-toothed fish to cut cables or a hammerhead shark to smash through stone walls. I'd never watched this anime, so I felt a bit lost when I first tried it. I wasn't even sure if I'd keep playing, but I finally gave it a shot, and honestly, this is a great game. This is the 7 Deadly Sins Origin. A game that's been promised since around 2022. Here you explore the world of Britannia, controlling a main character, but you don't play alone. You build a team with several heroes from the anime and can switch between them during battles. The best part is definitely the open world, and of course following characters fans already love. Even if you're new, you can still understand a lot. I honestly don't know how this game hasn't made it to the Play Store yet, because when it does, I'm sure it's going to be a huge hit. This is Ratchet and Clank Ranger Rumble, Sony's first game made exclusively for mobile and fully focused on online gameplay. Ratchet is a classic Sony character, kind of like their version of Mario. I'd never really played him before, but I ended up enjoying the gameplay a lot. It's simple, you always know what to do, but the movement has a surprising level of depth. That mix really hooked me. This game is seriously good. Rainbow Six SMOL is one of Ubisoft's most unexpected surprises. You could say it's a spin-off of the original game, but one that is completely different. Let's talk about it now. The game is now a top-down shooter roguelite where you control multiple characters. The name SMOL, internet slang for something small and cute, already shows how different it is from the franchise's original realism. You play as a regular recruit. During missions, you can recruit famous operators who act as your companions, each one with their own iconic special ability. If your recruit dies, that's it, they're gone forever. You'll have to start a new run with a new recruit. However, you keep the permanent upgrades you purchased at the base. Staying true to the franchise's DNA, missions focus on extraction or capture, and you can also destroy everything that stands in your way. Without a doubt, one of the best racing games on Android for 2026. Racing Master is easily one of the most realistic mobile racing games ever made. Let's talk about it. It features over 100 licensed cars like Ferrari, Lamborghini and Porsche, all fully customizable, and this is real racing. You need to brake at the right time, take perfect turns and control the car at its limit. No autoplay, no hand holding, but the game truly hits a 10 out of 10 with its open world, adding a whole new layer of freedom and customization. If you've ever wanted a Forza on mobile, this is the closest you'll get. Imagine an FPS where you can play both online and offline. With over 40 players in a match, this is POLYFIELD. With so many huge FPS games on the Play Store, POLYFIELD started off small. Because of that, a lot of players ended up enjoying the offline modes where you fight against bots. But the best part is that it's not just 5 versus 5. Instead, you get massive 64 versus 64 battles, which makes everything feel way bigger. This isn't about quick matches, it's about large-scale warfare, and that's what makes the game stand out. NORTHGARD on mobile is a perfect example of real-time strategy done right, and maybe the only strategy game perfectly ported to mobile. Let's talk about it. Inspired by Norse mythology, the game puts you in control of a Viking clan that has just discovered a new, mysterious and dangerous continent called NORTHGARD. It's not just about building an army and attacking. You must manage resources like food and wood to survive the harsh winters of the region, which can wipe out your population if you're not prepared. NORTHGARD stands out in the sea of mobile strategy games, usually focused on waiting hours to build something, for being a complete console/PC software experience. The biggest challenge for an RTS on mobile is the lack of mouse and keyboard. Premium NORTHGARD solves this with smart automation and very complete menus. Moonstone Island is an even more ambitious mix, basically Pokemon combined with Stardew Valley. Let's talk about it. Unlike most farming games where you're stuck in a single valley, here you live in a floating village. To progress, you use balloons, flying brooms or mounts to explore over 100 procedurally generated floating islands. Instead of fighting alone, you tame spirits that work like Pokemon within the game. Combat is turn-based but built around a card-based system, attacking, defending and applying status effects. It's far more strategic than simply clicking and attacking. As part of your training to become an alchemist, you also have responsibilities in the town, from building relationships with villagers to managing crops that directly improve your abilities. METRIA is a Japanese action RPG developed by Asobimo, the same studio behind hits like Toram Online and Iruna Online, and it's just as good. Let's talk about it now. Unlike turn-based games, METRIA focuses on fast and fluid combat, drawing heavy inspiration from Genshin Impact. You build a team of 3 characters and can instantly switch between them during battles. You explore vast maps, discover treasures, and interact with NPCs in detailed villages. In my opinion, the biggest difference with METRIA is that since it was made by Asobimo, the game is easily 10 times more challenging than Genshin Impact, for example. The story follows the knight and his allies on an epic journey to recover what was lost after a mysterious awakening, which also feels quite similar to Genshin Impact. KARDMI Mobile might be the closest thing we have right now to a true Pokemon style experience on Android, and let's talk about it. This game feels a lot like the newer Pokemon titles on the Nintendo Switch. You start as a character who doesn't really understand what KARDMI are in this world, but for some reason you're really good at capturing them. The game features around 70 to 80 creatures to collect, along with 4 cities to explore, plenty of NPCs and a solid story. But the best part is the multiplayer. You can meet other players in the world, battle them and trade creatures. The game feels very complete. HELLGUARD is a pretty unique game that just dropped on the Play Store, and it might become your next addiction. It's an action RPG with online co-op focused on dangerous missions for up to 3 players. The cool part is that it's not isometric like Diablo, it's fully 3D, which feels way better. You get 3 classes to choose from and a bunch of dungeons to explore, whether you go solo or play with friends. On top of that, the game mixes roguelike and MMORPG elements, blending both styles together. Honestly, I'm not sure if this game will take off, but one thing's for sure, it's different and pretty addictive. I've been waiting for HEARTOPIA since around 2022, but I had no idea it would become this big. And this is basically a life sim, a cozy game, but with an online twist, so you can enjoy it with other players. The game features different professions that make everything more fun, like fishing and cooking, plus a big open world to explore, and honestly, it's one of the cutest games you'll see in years. At launch, it hit the top of the download charts, and on Steam alone, it has around 20,000 daily players, which is a lot. If you enjoy Metroidvanias that don't just copy the classic formula but actually refine and improve it, you need to know HAAK. Set in a post-apocalyptic world with a desolate cyberpunk aesthetic, you play as HAAK, a traveler using an energy hook to search for his lost brother, Back. The heart of the game is the electric hook. It's not just for swinging, it's your weapon, your puzzle-solving tool, and your main movement mechanic. The sense of weight and speed is spot on. The game demands fluid combinations of jumps, dashes, and hook usage. The map is massive and filled with secret paths. HAAK excels at giving you that classic feeling of coming back to areas you couldn't reach before, and now, with your new movement abilities, you finally can. HAAK manages to be incredible for both newcomers and veteran players alike. Forgotten Memories Remastered, released in late 2024, is a rare gem on mobile. It's the definitive version of a game that was already iconic for trying to capture the soul of Silent Hill. Let's talk about it now. It's a third-person psychological survival horror game. You take on the role of Rose Hawkins, a detective who wakes up injured in an abandoned asylum while investigating the disappearance of a child. The game focuses on exploration, limited resource management, ammo and flashlight batteries, and puzzle solving. Unlike the original 2015 version, the remaster was rebuilt with modern graphic technologies. All characters and environments were redone in high resolution, supporting up to 120 frames per second and 2K/4K resolution on compatible devices. It's a complete game with remastered audio and videos without that aggressive compression common in cheap mobile ports. ELDERAND is an action platformer in the Metroidvania style with strong RPG elements, and it's still relatively unknown on Android.
What is happening?
You take on the role of a monster-hunting mercenary who travels to a distant cursed land in search of treasure and glory. However, you soon become involved in a dark storyline filled with apocalyptic cults and colossal creatures from other dimensions. The game follows the classic structure of the genre, but with a very strong focus on combat customization. It demands good reflexes and is extremely punishing, while at the same time offering an insane variety of weapons, something you don't usually see in other Metroidvanias. You earn experience, level up, and distribute points into attributes like strength, agility, vitality, and wisdom, allowing you to create a build that truly matches your playstyle, which is quite uncommon for some Metroidvanias. When you first look at this game, something feels off and you can't quite tell what it is. Let's talk about Easy Delivery Company. At its core, it's a delivery game, kind of like a courier job. You drive your truck through snow, mountains, and different locations, delivering everything from pizza to important items for NPCs. As you complete deliveries, you earn money to upgrade your vehicle, making it faster, more stable, and more efficient. The game also features a massive open map to explore, and there's a subtle layer of horror hidden in it, ready to catch you off guard. I've almost never seen anyone talk about this game, and it's seriously underrated DRAGONSPEAR EX. It's a 2D side-scrolling action RPG with a strong beat-em-up feel. The gameplay is simple. Move to the right and defeat waves of enemies. You can choose between 6 different classes, each with its own story and playstyle. One thing many players notice is the heavy fan service, especially in some of the female character designs. A lot of people tend to overlook 2D games on mobile, and ignoring this one is definitely a mistake. Let's talk about DARKRISE. Unlike about 90% of modern mobile RPGs, here you actually play the game. There's no auto walk to the quest button and no auto attack. Your success depends entirely on your dodging skills and positioning. The game isn't afraid to punish. If you play carelessly, enemies, especially bosses, will take you down very quickly, and that's exactly what makes every victory feel so rewarding. Right now, the game features classic classes that drastically change how combat feels. The loot system is deep and satisfying with gear of different rarities, gem sockets, and random attributes. DARKRISE's biggest strength is its honesty. It doesn't try to trap you with aggressive microtransactions or gacha mechanics. It's simply an addictive game the way games should be. Car Parking Multiplayer 2 is the direct evolution of the first title by SKULLGIRLS, and it massively improved its multiplayer experience. Let's talk about it. The game is essentially a car-focused GTA. You can get out of your vehicle, walk around with your character, and interact with a huge open world, but everything is clearly centered around cars, customization, and driving. Multiplayer is the heart of the game and works like a massive social hub. You join servers filled with dozens of other players. It's very common to see car meets at gas stations or city squares, just like in real life. The game also features light roleplay elements in some modes, like the police simulator, but there are also plenty of regular races for players who just want pure driving competition. On top of that, you can buy clothes and accessories for your avatar, since you're able to step out of your car and explore buildings or even other players' houses. If you're into tactical RPGs, this might be one of the best recent releases, and it's called ANNULUS. Here you control a character who explores the map, gathers resources, and slowly progresses. At first it's pretty simple. You move around, collect items, and figure out how to survive. But the real highlight is the progression. As you advance, you unlock new skills, gear, and areas, making everything more strategic. What really makes it addictive is the combat, mixing classic tactical RPG elements with exploration. Plus, the game doesn't hold your hand. The fun comes from learning through trial and error. I know there are countless MOBAs on the Play Store, and most of them usually feel exactly the same, but this one is different. Let's talk about Ancient Stars. Unlike traditional MOBAs like League of Legends or Wild Rift, which feature 3 lanes and a complex jungle, Ancient Stars focuses on a single lane. Since there's nowhere to run, the game becomes a constant fight to the death. Matches are short, lasting around 10 minutes. The goal is to push the lane, destroy enemy towers, and eventually take down the central base, because all players share the same horizontal plane. Using crowd control abilities and area of effect attacks requires much more precise timing. The game isn't completely different, and it still carries the core elements that define a MOBA, but it's fair to say that Ancient Stars feels more like a mini MOBA, faster, simpler, and far more direct. One of the most relation games I have played on the Play Store recently is Cozy Island. The idea is so simple that it almost sounds boring. You just build your house and help NPCs build theirs as well. You do just be gathering resources like stone and wood, and craft different things for them. I played it when it was still early in development, so I'm not sure how it is now. It is probably improved a lot, but honestly, it was such a peaceful experience. I'd jump in and genuinely relax while helping my character rebuild their home. Thanks for watching. If you found a new game to try, make sure to drop a like and subscribe for more hidden gems like this. See you in the next video.